Hey everyone, this is Michael again, and welcome to the Monday Night Raw review. And tonight's Monday Night Raw was from the Enterprise Center in St. Louis. And this was Monday Night Raw's go-home show for the glorified upcoming house show called Crown Jewel, which is happening this Thursday in Saudi Arabia. And I'm expecting a shit show for Crown Jewel, and I will be reviewing Crown Jewel on Thursday. The review will be up after the show is over. But Monday Night Raw tonight, I thought it was a shit show, in my opinion. This was fucking garbage ass show tonight. There was stuff that I liked, two things that I liked, and the rest was very garbage, and yeah, but all in all, show was garbage. And let's get on with the Monday Night Raw review. So, Monday Night Raw opened up tonight with Paige coming out. She came out, looks great, and she's on the stage, and she welcomes us to Monday Night Raw. And she says, she has been advising a special tag team. And she introduces Asuka and Kairi Sane, the Kabuki Warriors. So they make their way to the ring. Paige was still on the mic, and she ended up saying 6 months ago she took two former champions, in Kairi Sane and Asuka. She says that Kairi Sane is a former NXT Women's Champion and the first ever winner of the Mae Young Classic. She puts over Asuka. Says, Asuka, was a former SmackDown Women's Champion and the first ever winner of the Women's Royal Rumble. Paige, did you forget also that Asuka was a former NXT Women's Champion also? She forgot to say that too. So she puts Kairi and Asuka over, and she ends up saying that she forged both of them into a tag team. And she puts over them as the women's tag team champions. So we see Asuka. She yanks the mic out of Paige's hands. She ends up speaking stuff in Japanese. Paige ends up taking the mic back from Asuka. And then we see Kairi ends up yanking the mic out of Paige's hands. And, Kairi ends up talking in Japanese. And Kairi, I liked how the way she looked tonight. I like the way how she carries one half of the tag team, the Women's Tag Team Championships, over her neck. I thought that was really cool. So Kairi ends up talking, Japanese at us. And, Paige ends up going to take the mic from Kairi. And, the mic ends up dropping on the mat. So Paige ends up picking up the mic. She ends up turning around, and lo and behold, Asuka ends up spitting the green mist in Paige's face. And Paige was like, "Oh, I can't see, I can't see, I can't see." So one of the medics comes in the ring to help Paige out. And, Paige is still screaming about, oh, I can't see, I can't see. So Asuka's out there on the floor, and Becky Lynch ends up coming out because we had the match Becky Lynch versus Kairi Sane. So Becky Lynch came out. The match didn't get underway, and Becky ended up pinning double leg to Kairi Sane, throwing punches, forearms. She sends Kairi to the floor, and Becky ends up dropping out of the ring, taking down both Kairi and Asuka. And Kairi and Asuka end up being down on Becky. Becky comes back, and she throws Asuka over the barricade. And Kairi is in the ring. Becky comes back in, and Kairi ends up running out. And Raw went to commercial after that. But really did enjoy the whole heel turn with Kairi and Asuka, and them getting Paige away from them. They don't need this. Proves that they don't need Paige no more. That they could have matches on their own without Paige being their manager. So, but really did like this from both Kairi and Asuka. And then we had the match, Becky Lynch versus Kairi Sane, which the match itself, it was a decent match. I really liked the match. Back and forth between Becky and Kairi. There was good wrestling. There was decent wrestling here in this match. Becky and Kairi worked off each other pretty decent. And in the end, Becky ended up getting the win. She locked in the disarmer on Kairi Sane. And so there you go. Becky Lynch ended up winning the match. But overall, decent match. Really liked the match. And there was decent wrestling there from both Becky and Kairi. Then we had R-Truth come out. R-Truth made his way out when Raw went to a commercial. Raw went to commercial after R-Truth made his entrance. Then when Raw came back, when Monday Night Raw came back, Charlie Caruso, she ends up interviewing R-Truth about him facing Buddy Murphy because it was R-Truth versus Buddy Murphy. So R-Truth takes issue, and he says that Buddy Murphy is his buddy, and that he is shocked to find out the Singhs are brothers. So, R-Truth shows off, his glasses, his new glasses that he got. And he ends up saying that he's going to get his baby back, meaning his Jobber Ninja Turtle 24/7 title. And Truth says he's going to pin Cien to get his title back. And then Buddy Murphy ends up making his way out. So Buddy Murphy comes out, gets on the mic, and he says to R-Truth that he is so focused, that R-Truth is so focused on that Jobber Ninja Turtle 24/7 title, and that he's ignoring Australia's finest. He ends up saying to him that you might not know who he is yet, but after tonight, he won't forget him. And so the match got underway, and the match itself, very garbage match. This could have been a decent match between the both of them. Buddy Murphy is decent in the ring. He's a former Cruiserweight champion. But it sucks that he had to be stuck in this whole circus of jobbers, running for the Jobber Ninja Turtle 24/7 garbage title, where during the match you had the circus. You had the circus of jobbers come out, running some laps. It's the WWE physical education class where if you were, in school and doing gym and they make you run in laps all the time, that's what these jobbers did tonight. And it's sad that Buddy Murphy had to be stuck in this. And, they came out, the Singh brothers came out. There was No Way Jose, Eric Young, Zack Ryder. They were all doing laps around the ring. And then R-Truth goes out, starts doing laps. So the referee was counting, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. R-Truth comes back in the ring when the ref made the 8 count. So R-Truth doesn't, get disqualified when the ref, counts to 10. And then right when R-Truth comes in, Buddy Murphy just lays R-Truth out with a knee to his face. Knee to R-Truth's face. And there you go. Buddy Murphy wins the match. There you go. Garbage match it was. This could have been a decent match if it wasn't for the stupid circus coming out of the circus of jobber guys chasing around for that stupid garbage looking title, which should be seriously retired. But yet, it's still on TV. How many fucking times have I said, keep this title or the stupid jobber Ninja Turtle 24/7 title on social media? But you know what? This is WWE. They don't give a shit. It comes off when you see this title on TV, you just want to roll your damn eyes. It's not funny. It's fucking stupid. Every time when I see the Jobber Ninja Turtle 24/7 title featured, I'm like, that's my reaction when I see this title on TV on Monday Night Raw. Enough of me talking about this garbage ass title that should be fucking retired. So then after that, we had a video package with the Authors of Pain, just promoting, they're promoting their return. Really looking forward to where WWE is going to take the Authors of Pain in this, new sort of gimmicks that they gave them. Coming with the suits. But knowing WWE, they're possibly going to fuck them. They're possibly going to fuck them up too. So then after the video package with the Authors of Pain, we had the Street Profits. The Street Profits came out. They made their entrance. They were partying with the crowd. And the St. Louis crowd tonight, this crowd looked dead for, majority of the show. It's like they were in a coma. So they made their way out. They were partying with the crowd. I miss the Street Profits whenever they came out on NXT with the crowd, and the crowd was just partying with them. They were so into it. That's what made their entrance, fun and entertaining, and to look forward to, having a good time with them, when they made their entrance in the crowd. Here it's just, some people in the crowd there, going along with them. And it's not the same, it doesn't have the same vibe as, when they were in NXT and the crowd was just partying along with them. So, that's my opinion. So, both of them got in the ring, got on the mic, and, we heard, "We want the smoke" chants. And Montez Ford, begins, talking. He says, not only did they make their debut last week, but they showed out. So Angelo Dawkins says, you always remember your first. And Montez Ford says, they made the OC feel the blues. So, they said, with an assist from their boy, Kevin Owens, it says, to all the superstars that want to throw down with the Profits, they messed up. Because they're up and they want the smoke. So, they were chanting. The music ended up playing. They ended up going into the crowd again to, for the crowd to have fun with them. And pretty much, that was basically that. The crowd, looked like that, they were enjoying, the Street Profits because, you could see that WWE has something in the Street Profits. And, hopefully they use them, really well and, not screw them up. Which I hope, this is WWE we're talking about. This is them having the Street Profits on Monday Night Raw. They ain't even used them until last week, and they were just a walking billboard for Monday Night Raw. So hopefully, WWE, treats the Street Profits really well. They need to have, them be a leader of, the tag team division because the tag team division is fucking dead. They need, leaders of division, of a tag team division that, has character, that needs characters and quality that's been, missing. But, the crowd, but you could tell that Angelo Dawkins was nervous here when, he was in there. You could tell by the look on his face that he was really nervous. But all in all, the promo from the Street Profits, it was okay. It was pretty decent. Then we had Ricochet versus Drew McIntyre. Once again, a rematch. Didn't we just see this last week? But I gotta say, I liked the match. I thought this was a solid, decent match. Ricochet, gotta give props to him. He took a beating in this match from Drew McIntyre. Possibly, a big beating that I've seen, in their other matches that they had together. But this was part of the other team, Team Flair, Team Hogan. Ricochet, he's going to be on Team Flair. Drew McIntyre on Ricochet on I think Team Hogan, and Drew McIntyre on Team Flair. So, but you had Hulk Hogan out there, you had Ric Flair, Jimmy Hart, and towards the end of the match, Ricochet got the win by disqualification because Ricochet was going for the 460 on the top, or the 450 or whatever you call it, and McIntyre ended up rolling out of the way. And then Randy Orton comes out of nowhere, does the RKO, delivers the RKO to Ricochet, which I gotta say, that RKO that was delivered to Ricochet, Ricochet sold that brilliantly. That was a brilliant sell to the RKO from Randy Orton to Ricochet. Absolutely brilliant. Brilliant sell by Ricochet. But in the end, McIntyre ends up tossing, post-match, McIntyre ends up tossing Ricochet out of the ring. And then we just hear McIntyre ends up saying to Hogan on the outside, he ends up saying, "You are screwed." So he ended up saying that to Hogan out, on the outside. But all in all, match, was solid. It was a decent, solid match. But the end of it, with Randy Orton coming in there, it was because Randy Orton's going to be on Team Flair. But I'd say this whole Team Flair versus Team Hogan thing, this should have been done at Survivor Series. Why did they have to make it for Crown Jewel? This could have been, a decent, match at Survivor Series. And, with Crown Jewel happening on Thursday, how is WWE going to book, 3 weeks until Survivor Series? Are they just going to rush it? Because that's what they're probably going to do. They're probably going to rush it. And there you go. You have your 5-on-5 Survivor Series with hopefully Raw and SmackDown. So I can tell you, they're gonna rush this with a 2-week build to Survivor Series. So then after that, we had the OC. Humberto Carrillo is there. AJ Styles says, says to Humberto Carrillo that he's the guy that tore it up against Seth Rollins last week. And he says to Humberto that he was impressed. He says he was a rookie once upon a time, but now he's one of the most well-liked veterans in WWE. Sorry about that, but I was saying, AJ Styles is going on to say that, he's one of the most well-liked veterans in WWE. He also said that he thought Humberto's debut was pretty cool. And he ends up saying to Humberto, if you're looking to prove yourself against the top champion, then you picked the wrong one. So Styles ended up challenging Humberto Carrillo to try his luck against the real champ. Pretty much that was basically what happened backstage with OC and Humberto Carrillo. So then we had a jobber tag team match. Well, not a jobber tag team match, but the War Raiders versus this jobber tag team known as the Chicago Cubs. And their names were Rizzo and Bryant. What more can I say about this match? Squash match. War Raiders win it. Viking experience. That's it. Moving on. So yeah, we had Andrade, Cien, Almas versus Sin Cara. And Sin Cara ended up coming out with this female luchadora, which her name was going by Carolina. So, they made their way out. Of course, Andrade, Cien, Almas came out with Zelina Vega. And, lo and behold, this is another rematch. This is another rematch that we saw. This is another rematch that we saw last week. But it just added something different. Now was Carolina there. That was it. Possibly there to help, Zelina Vega not get involved. But unfortunately, Zelina Vega was on the ring apron. Carolina ended up, trying to get Zelina Vega off of the ring apron. And Zelina ended up kicking Carolina. So Zelina Vega ended up trying to do the Hurricanrana. Carolina ended up catching Zelina Vega. She ended up driving Zelina into the barricade. And that pretty much gave Andrade Cien Almas, a chance to take out Sin Cara. Went for the pin. Andrade ended up winning the match because he has 2 feet on the ropes. The ref never saw it. So there you go. Andrade Cien Almas wins the match. Again, this is his second win against Sin Cara. Last week he won, and now this week. Well, we're going to get another rematch with Andrade and Sin Cara? Or possibly going to get Zelina Vega versus Carolina? I expect that to happen. All in all, it was a rematch. We saw this last week. What was there to like about this match? Absolutely nothing. Sorry about that, but I was saying, what was there to like about this match? Absolutely nothing. What is there? Andrade, cheating his way again for a win. It just proves that Andrade can't win a match without getting help from, Zelina Vega. That was what we saw last week and most of all the other matches that Andrade had. Moving on. We had Natalya and Charlotte versus the IIconics. It's a women's tag team match. And did not even care about this match. I mean, Natalya and Charlotte are now friends? Like, when did this happen? So, Natalya and Charlotte end up getting the win. Natalya locked in the sharpshooter on Billie Kay. So Natalya and Charlotte win the match. Moving on. Charlie Caruso. She ended up interviewing Seth Rollins. Seth then ended up cutting Caruso off. He ends up saying that he's got a lot on his plate. He says he's got Erick Rowan in a Falls Count Anywhere match. 3 days out from Crown Jewel. He says he fights every single night to prove himself. He says Bray Wyatt is going to take it to another level on Thursday. So, that was the interview with Seth Rollins. Then we had Seth Rollins versus Erick Rowan, the Falls Count Anywhere match, which the match itself, it was okay. You had Seth Rollins and Erick Rowan brawling in the crowd. Of course, they had to go out into the stands, just like how AEW did it with Cody, Dustin, DDP, MJF. When they battled in that brawl against the Inner Circle on Dynamite last Wednesday. So, lo and behold, WWE had to do this in this Falls Count Anywhere match. And you had Erick Rowan end up throwing Seth Rollins into the merchandise stand. End up slamming him, into the table right by the merchandise stand. And I'm like, then I went to commercial. I'm like, how do you go to commercial during a Falls Count Anywhere match? Then when Monday Night Raw came back from commercial, they were back by the ring, both Rollins and Rowan. And then they went to the back once again. Rowan ends up throwing Seth Rollins into these metal pipes. Rowan takes a road case to try and throw it at Seth Rollins. Seth ends up ducking, and Rowan, fails at throwing the road case because Seth ended up moving out of the way. So the road case bounced, on some other cases, and thereby a forklift. So Rowan was down. Seth Rollins goes to one of these guys that were there saying, "Oh, do you know how to work this forklift? Do you know how to work it?" So he gets one of the guys who knows how to work it. And he tells him, "Please, work it. Turn on. Turn on." And so the guy ends up, turning on like the forklift, starting it on. Drops the forklift with a pallet on it. And pretty much there, Seth Rollins stands there, and the referee counts 1, 2, 3. There you go. Seth Rollins wins the match because Erick Rowan had a forklift and a pallet on top of him. Yay! There you go. But all in all, it was an okay false count anywhere match. Not great. Didn't love it, though. Then we had AJ Styles versus Humberto Carrillo, which match was meh, in my opinion. You had Gallows and Anderson out there, and it was just back and forth between Styles and Humberto. And at the end of the match, Styles won. Calf crusher on Humberto. So AJ Styles wins the match. Second week now that Humberto has lost. Last week he lost to Seth Rollins. So there you go. Styles won the match. Post-match, Styles end up giving a hand to Humberto. I guess for Humberto to shake his hand. So Humberto, tries to go and shake Styles' hand. Styles ends up pulling his hand back. Humberto then slaps Styles. And Styles end up delivering the Styles Clash to Humberto. And Gallows and Anderson came in. They were looking to deliver the Magic Killer to Humberto. But the Street Profits came out. And they ended up taking out the OC. Ended up taking out Gallows and Anderson. I like how the way Carl Anderson, sold those, those hands from the OC where he just bounced back like threw himself back. But there you go. But looks like we're gonna see possibly the Street Profits take on the OC once again, and the Street Profits gonna have Kevin Owens as their third man. But all in all, match itself very meh with Styles and Humberto Carrillo. And then we get to this fucking garbage. At the end of this, I just wanted to fucking puke because we had the King's Court. Jerry Lawler was in there, and not the King's Court, it's the Divorce Court. Yeah, like this sounds really interesting. Which possibly by then you guys probably stopped watching Monday Night Raw at this part. So the King, Jerry the King Lawler, introduced Rusev and LANA as his guests. And Jerry Lawler end up saying that, to Rusev that, he's still wearing his wedding band in hopes of reconciliation. So Rusev and Lana were there, of course, and Lana gets on the mic. Lana ends up saying that she didn't want to come out and air dirty laundry or embarrass Rusev. And she ended up saying the truth is every day she has to deal with the WWE Universe being mean to her on social media. Whether it's her Twitter, her Instagram. And she ends up saying that she's going to tell us the truth. And the crowd was chanting Rusev Day. So the crowd was behind Rusev, of course. And then she ends up saying, the truth is all Rusev wanted from her was sex. And Rusev was like, oh, can you blame me? And Lana ends up clarifying that Rusev wanted sex. He wanted sex in the morning, sex in the evening, sex, sex on Christmas, sex at WrestleMania. All Lana was saying was sex that Rusev wanted. And she ended up calling Rusev a sex addict. So Lana ends up accusing Rusev of him wanting to put a baby inside of her. And says he knew more about her cycle than she does. And she was like, all he wants is, Machka brats running around. So Rusev ended up saying that he wanted to grow their family. So Lana ends up cutting off Rusev, and she ends up saying that she has a modeling career. And no designer will dress her if she has stretch marks. And she says the way she makes money is by being the most ravishing woman in the world and not being a Mama Rusev. So, Lana admits, that's not it so much. And she ends up saying that Rusev ended up cheating on her. And Bobby Lashley ended up telling her that, ended up telling Lana that. And she believed Lashley. And Rusev was like, oh, that never happened. So then we had Bobby Lashley. Bobby Lashley came out. And Bobby Lashley was in his ring gear. And, he was in his, his suit. And then all of a sudden he's in his ring. All of a sudden he's in his ring gear. So Bobby Lashley made his way down. Rusev ends up cutting off Bobby Lashley with a boot. And they start, fighting on the floor. Ends up throwing Lashley into the post. And he ends up throwing Lashley into the steel steps. They went into the ring. He was throwing a front kick. There was more punches. Lashley ends up turning Rusev around. And he lays out Rusev. He ends up clearing the King's Court set. And Bobby Lashley goes for a spear to Rusev, but Rusev ends up countering it with a front kick. And Rusev laid out Bobby Lashley with a Samoan drop. And Rusev takes off his wedding ring, or his wedding band. Waves it at Lana, saying, is this what you want? Is this what you want? So he ends up feeding it. He ends up feeding the wedding band to Lashley. So he was punching Lashley. And then This was stupid. This was so stupid. It was funny. Lana comes in. Lana blindsides Rusev with the kendo stick. She's just hitting the kendo stick. Rusev's not feeling anything. I'm like, what the fuck? Oh my god. So Rusev, catches, the next swing that Lana is, hitting him with the kendo stick. So he catches it. Rusev catches it. And I'm like, with her hitting Rusev with the kendo stick and Rusev not feeling this, I'm like, oh my god, this is so bad. This is so shit. So, Rusev X's why she's doing this. And then it gave Bobby Lashley the opportunity to low blow Rusev. So Lana ends up slapping Rusev. And Lashley ends up hitting a running kick to Rusev. Lays out Rusev. And we see Lana and Bobby Lashley make out as Monday Night Raw went off the air. Garbage. This was absolute garbage. This was so fucking bad. I want this fucking storyline to be over with. I mean, like, who even likes this storyline? If you like the storyline, I don't know what is wrong with you. I don't know what is wrong with you. If you like the storyline. I mean, who likes this storyline? Who is basically enjoying this storyline between Lana, Bobby Lashley, and Rusev? If I was Rusev, I'd be counting down the days to when my WWE contract ends or is up. Because, that's what Rusev is looking forward to. He's looking forward to his contract being up so he can go elsewhere, maybe go to AEW and have a better time there. Sorry about that, but I was saying, Rusev is maybe counting his days until his WWE contract is up so he could go elsewhere, hopefully AEW, because he'd be better off there than in this shitty storyline that they put him here with. Let's see. Who is enjoying the storyline? I'm not. Are you? Possibly not. Anyways, that's it for this Monday Night Raw review. This show was fucking garbage. This show was shit. Some things I liked about the show, others were meh. But overall, garbage show. Anyways, that's it for the Monday Night Raw review. Thank you all for watching. Hope you all enjoyed this review. Definitely give the video a thumbs up, comment, subscribe, and until the next video, I'll see you all later.